Hey guys, Donald here. You're listening to episode 115 of the General Geekery podcast. If you guys want to check out the live version of this episode, originally recorded on April 28th, 2022 at twitch.tv Ryuzaki MK7, click the link in the description of this episode to go check it out for yourselves. Otherwise, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Well, we might as well just... What's up?
I'm good whenever.
Yeah, alright. Might as well just get on with it. Hey everybody! How's it going? For those of you watching live, watching later on, or listening later on if you're listening to the audio version of this, welcome to the General Geekery podcast. This is, of course, the podcast where we love to geek out all that we love to geek out about with no remorse.
No regret.
And with all of the enthusiasm in the world.
Indeed.
As always, we are your hosts for this podcast of ours. I am Donald Kaczynski, your resident Coffee Ninja by day, actor, gamer, streamer by night. I don't know why I decided to roll my R's in that moment, but, you know, we're live. What can I say?
You've done it before.
I mean, I have, but maybe not that over the top. Wonder if I can do it for a full minute once. Somebody dare me to do it. Anyway,
please try that on your own time.
Yeah, I will do it on my own time. No worries. I probably do it on my own stream well enough. And as always, she is our resident artiste magnificent dice slinger extraordinaire and our resident video game inept. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pointing hopefully in the right direction. Hannah Kubiak.
Me, you're not, but hello, it is I.
There we go. Gotcha. And for some odd reason, we are, hold on, for some reason, Streamlabs has, gone right ahead and, frozen us, so, I'm gonna fix that. I have no idea. Let's double check that. Let me fix that. Let me absolutely fix that. Hold on, chat. Hold on. Hold on.
Fix it in post. Don't worry.
There we go.
Whoa, a look behind the curtain there. Whoa.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I've accidentally done that on stream. Anyway, welcome back to the General Geekery podcast. This is our live episode for Anime April. It's the way that we are wrapping up this month of Anime April, a month that I always enjoy recording for the podcast just because, like I said, I personally love anime, love everything about it. This year, we decided to do another fan poll of what anime movie you guys wanted us to watch for Anime April this year, and I was actually intrigued by how close it was. It came down to two different films. It came down to two films. It came down to Perfect Blue, which just barely lost. Just barely. We were so close. But,
I'll be watching that on my own time anyway.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. But, today we are talking about the 2009 animated film. Hannah, do you want to introduce this one?
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, they're coming around the bend to the Redline.
Redline!
Redline.
Directed by Takeshi Koike. I love that intro.
Takeshi Koike.
I love that intro so much.
It's like shameless plug for my first movie.
I don't think it was his first movie, but I think it was Takeshi Koike's main theatrical.
It was first directing. His first time directing something.
Well, I think it was the only full-length feature film that he directed, because I know he did several different animation shorts and was like a supervising animator for different projects, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
So this was his theatrical film debut, one would put it in terms of that.
Gotcha.
So before we get talking about the story, is there anything about that you want to talk about in terms of just like what we found out about the movie, like either afterwards or while we were watching it, Hannah? Or
Yeah, sure. It took 7 years to make this movie.
that's
Um,
right. I forgot about that.
with about 100,000 handheld frames, whatever that means.
Oh, I was wondering about that. So they did hand draw this film. That that
Yes,
that
yes. They
that's
hand drew a
incredible.
lot of stuff besides like sort of like a couple of little things. It was hand drawn. Pretty cool. Which now I get why kind of the animation style sort of reminded me of Akira just a little bit because that was hand drawn as well.
Yeah,
Um,
if were there animation cells used in this? Hold on, I'm gonna look that up really quick.
in this, not
Yes.
sure, but yeah. For some of my research that I did, I watched some YouTube videos like a true researcher in our era.
Fair enough.
I watched a video called Redline and Madhouse by Beyond Ghibli or Ghibli. I
Um,
know how to pronounce that.
Studio Madhouse.
Mm.
Love them.
And then a movie or not a movie, a video by Super Eye Patch Wolf, which I the title was way too long, but if you look them up, you'll find them. I'm pretty sure that I watched a video by this same guy when we watched Fate Zero.
Okay.
His voice sounds really familiar.
Interesting.
Like he's this Irish guy talking about it. So I'm gonna look into that and see if I've referred to his his videos twice in Anime April now. Because if so, he does a great job
What an
creating content.
unbelievable
Yes.
coincidence.
Yes. So yeah, it was sort of people sort of likened it to Wacky Races or Speed Racer, but on like a super like high level kind of like when we were watching it, you and I basically every couple of scenes we'd look at it and be like, well, that looks like insert movie series here on crack. That looks like Mad
Yep.
Max. That looks like Mad Max on cocaine. That looks like
I th-
Ghost in the Shell.
Yep. I think
Ghost
I
in the
think
Shell on crystal meth.
I think I made that joke like 2 or 3 times at like different key points in the film where I for some reason I was just reminded of so many other series. I'm like, what is happening?
Uh-huh. Oh my gosh, yeah.
But yeah, you.
But yeah, it's sort of I think another one was Cowboy Bebop on heroin.
Oh yes, I did say that. I think.
Yeah, but yeah, it was like the setting of Cowboy Bebop on heroin with the sort of the technology type stuff of Ghost in the Shell on crystal meth, combined with the chaotic vehicles racing through desert areas of Mad Max on cocaine. It was
And,
insane.
but it was Japanese anime.
Wait
But
a minute.
but it was Japanese anime, and
I think
unfortunately,
heroin
it
is
was
a isn't it?
is a what?
Nothing. I'm just now freaking out about whether or not I listed all just a bunch of drugs that were stimulants.
It
That's
no
all.
no worries. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, as Sherlock Holmes once said, then I may dispense with artificial stimulants. Sorry,
Oh,
I've been
heroin is a semi-synthetic opioid made from morphine that has been chemically processed.
what is it tonight?
Huh.
Morphine or cocaine?
And is it tonight? Morphine or cocaine?
A-
My
actually
my
written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, ladies and gentlemen.
yep. My grandmother my grandmother is recovering from COVID right now. My mom sent me a text. And she's and it said like, "Yep, she's she's been given a cocktail of cough syrup and cocaine, and I was like, what? And she's like, oh no, I meant codeine. Sorry.
Oh
Like,
my
whoa.
goodness.
It's like sounds like a trip. Sounds great.
It's like mother,
It's like,
that is two different substances. Excuse me if I must say what?
but also it's funny because my little sister, she was on a speech team and she did a program from the point of view of an old woman. And one of
Okay.
the lines was like, "We never went to doctors. In my day, we just snorted cocaine." And somebody got her a mug that says that on it. In my day, we just snorted cocaine.
Oy vey.
Oh man. Anyway, that was a huge sidebar.
No, it's okay.
Just because I like to make sure that I don't flaunt my ignorance about hard drugs, I guess.
No, you're fine.
I'm a writer. I should know these things.
Oy
I
vey.
know how to amputate a limb. I know how what medieval people ate as painkillers.
You and Florence Nightingale would actually get along.
I know how to escape from quicksand.
Oh.
I should know about hard drugs.
Anyway,
It's my job to know.
so
This is a massive sidebar. But one more quick thing.
what? Yes.
My door. I had to break into my apartment today. And so I got to practice all of the sort of like sketchy lock picking skills that I've sort of learned. I managed to I tried using a credit card. I tried like I ended up having to use something else because the thingy was facing the other way. But
Okay.
basically I was like, "Oh my gosh. This is where my paranoid mind comes in handy." All right, let's see. Got a credit card, hairpins.
You literally had a MacGyver moment.
I did, yeah. I actually went to my car, grabbed a bunch of random crap, and made a device to get me into my apartment today.
I have no words. I just have to applaud. I just have to applaud at that. That's actually holy crap. But
Anyway, Redline is about one of the videos that I watched described it as a galactic illegal Grand Prix.
yeah,
Basically.
that's to my understanding because a lot of the atmosphere and worlds that we visit, it all has a distinct underground kind of feeling all throughout it. We're not out.
Like the space, it was kind of reminded me of Firefly as well, just kind of like the grunge.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Grunge
Now
of
that
it
you
all.
mention it, it
Like
did have
there's
a.
two different kinds of sci-fi. There's like the really sleek, futuristic kind of sci-fi, like Star Trek, where everything is like round shapes and everything is white, clean. And then there's like the grungy sci-fi where your ship is just barely holding together and everything is dirty and greasy, and every planet you go down to, people are wearing like rags and they're covered in filth.
So basically, on one hand you have Star Trek, on the other hand you have Cowboy Bebop. Got it.
Yeah. Which is a perfect example of what any given day is like in Mobile, Alabama.
Ah, makes sense.
I know some people in Mobile, actually. Good friends, college friends. Okay. So, Redline is, it's got a lot of, it's very kinetic. It has a lot of speed and momentum and a lot of like action shots and sort of like the, what is it? The perspective being sort of warped to sort of emphasize just what velocity these people are racing at. Like I think there was one in the first race, the yellow line, when they were racing along, and he put the nitro in there and started like zipped off, just driving along, it's rattling and everything, and just like a blood vessel bursts in his nose.
Oh yeah, and there was that one shot of what was it? It was this one shot. I think it was in the yellow line race as well when he hit the nitro, and it just seems that like the frame of the scene just like stretched out the car just to like show like before like the boost hits just goes
Yeah, it was like
to just
somebody took
overemphasize like
portions of the
this.
movie and threw it into a taffy puller.
Yep. That's exactly what it felt like. That is
Just like, time
exactly
to
what it felt
go.
like. Wait. Oh no, what's going on? I gotta go.
Swing. Yeah, so it had kind of a comic book look too. I was kind of thinking, I was wondering, I was looking at there was some shots of Sonashi in particular that I was looking at it and I was like, she looks like somebody. Who does she look like? And I realized that it was oh man, it was like stand by, calculating, buffering. Andy Warhol. It looked like an Andy Warhol thing, I think.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I
Andy
mean,
Warhol.
I actually can provide some knowledge on that. When I was doing
Yeah.
some research about this particular movie,
Was it Andy Warhol? No, he's a photographer. Stand by.
so I have it right here. So Takeshi Koike has been noted for different influences that include Frank Miller, who
Frank Miller, that's right.
yep, Frank Miller, who's more commonly associated with comic books such as the Daredevil, the 300 comic book run, Batman, The Dark Knight Returns, and other people such as Mike Mignola, who is the creator of the comic book character Hellboy. So
Ooh.
yeah, so I can actually kind of see like where that like artistic influence is drawn from for this movie specifically, because there's a lot of attention to detail for like very outer world kind of creatures of different like non-human proportions specifically.
Mm.
Like
The person I was thinking of was Roy Lichtenstein.
okay, gotcha. And you're referring that to the character of Sonoshi?
That a couple of the sort of shots of Sonoshi was like I was looking at it, I was like, why does that look so familiar? It's because it looks like this famous like pop art piece by Roy Lichtenstein.
Are you actually?
It was at the Art Institute of Chicago once when I was
Do you actually have the piece
when I was a kid.
in front of you on your screen?
I do now, yeah.
Can you actually share the screen on Discord?
Sure, if I can figure out how to do that. Hold on a
There's
second.
there should be a share your screen button.
Ask. Oh, yes. Wait. No, that's to pop out.
Figuring out technology as we're recording a podcast, guys. This is what we're all about.
Yeah. Where will it be? Will it be kind of in the sort of...
It'll showcase itself in like a separate window.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Here it is.
Okay.
I hope this is that.
It's loading.
It's got it's given me an inquiry box.
Oh, there we go.
Wait.
Yep.
Okay, like this. This lady.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that a little bit.
Yeah. I can definitely see that actually.
Yeah.
So let me. I'll try to enhance this a little bit for our.
Zoom.
For the live audience.
Enhance.
Enhance.
Mm-hmm. There's just one that says "Wow." I wonder if I just click on the. Nope, that's as big as it gets.
Yeah, that looks like that's as big as it gets on my end. But yeah, that's I can definitely see the artistic influence behind that, especially for Sonoshi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Out of way now.
All right. So yeah, like a lot of different artistic influences that influences Koike's overall direction in terms of animation for this particular movie. So for the plot of one thing we really haven't touched on, we haven't touched on the plot of Redline, so we should probably So, like you said,
Yeah. It starts with the yellow line race, which is the race right before the red line, which is the like big final hot deal race that everybody wants to win.
yeah. So we follow
So it's
our. Sorry, I didn't mean to
yeah,
interrupt.
the beginning is like 10 minutes of just this race going on at massive speeds. They're just like zooming along, they're firing rockets at each other, and it just made me laugh when they're saying everybody's like what everybody's vehicles were, and they're like, and this person is in this giant thing, this is Crab Sonashi and stuff, and then they're like, and here comes Sweet JP and his Trans Am, and it's like this little tiny yellow car, and it just cracked me up.
I remember. I
Like,
remember when they
no,
were introducing the Trans Am specifically when we were watching this. Like, there was something about the Trans Am specifically that just cracked you up.
I loved it. No, it's because it's the one of the things about comedy is that yeah, you you create like a what is it? A You create a baseline of like what is normal, right? Is like these wacko, fantastic, a big sort of like, no, this is pod racing kind
Yep.
of things, and then all of a sudden there's this guy just in this beat up car, and it's funny because of that. Because you're like, oh my gosh, look at this schmuck over here.
Is the te-
But that was the guy that we were rooting for the whole time,
is the
and
techni-
like
is
his
the is the technical term for it like surrealism or just
surrealism? No, juxtaposition.
juxtaposition? Okay, yeah, that would be the word for it then.
Because I
Sur-
feel 10% smarter if I get to use the word juxtaposition in my conversation.
I am not. I am not going to take that away from you. You use that word.
Yep.
You
But yeah,
use that grammar.
I loved that first race was great. It wasn't too long. Um, it was and it was gripping, and I loved seeing the Trans Am in action because once it was fast enough with the nitro and everything, it was like zipping in and out in between and underneath other people's vehicles and stuff, and that was pretty awesome.
The kind of a
Oh yeah,
frenetic.
like where he like tosses the nitro in there, and he's like, "You're just a voice, pal. You don't know anything about racing."
I have to say, like the entire 10-minute intro to Redline, the yellow line race, in my mind palace is exactly how I feel whenever I play like any kind of like racing game at an arcade. You know, when you're just sitting down in like the seat controller, when you have the driving wheel right in front of you, the pedals at your feet, you have the shift gear and everything like that. You could be playing the Fast and Furious racing game in the arcades, and literally in my mind, that entire 10 minutes is what I feel like I'm doing in my mind. Like that kind of frenetic imagination of just like, oh man, speed going, just constant speed going, just out of this world. And yeah, I don't know why. It just brought that imagination
Oh,
spark
it was
in
like
my
pod
mind.
racing on speed. Let me tell you.
Red line, where every single thing you can relate it to is something on some kind of stimulant.
Yep.
That's what we figured out during the entirety of like the hour and a half that we watched this movie.
Sweet JP is Johnny Bravo on Rogaine. Oh man.
Oh my
Something
lord!
that I read that I heard somewhere was that the sort of what was it? He was I guess he was like in charge of the animation or something, and his idea and his like um his concept for the movie was like information overload, which I definitely got that.
Yeah, because the entirety of the movie after like the intro going into the red line race, like we're just given all,
Mhm.
it's like an entire info dump, but it's never boring.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what it kind of reminded me of was when I was a kid, I would draw these pictures where like it would start with the tree, and then I would draw like a bird on the tree, and then another bird that was a little bit bigger and had bigger feathers, and then another bird that was flying away that had like really colorful feathers, and then there was a
Okay.
sun that it was flying into, and there were meteors falling from the sun and stuff. Like basically
What?
just it was like it was like a like an adult coloring book kind of doodle sort of thing, you know, where it just kind of grows and branches off and stuff. It kind of reminded me of that a little bit.
You know, I can actually definitely kind of see where you're coming from with that.
Hmm.
Just yeah,
Yeah.
I can definitely see where you're coming from with that.
Or like one of those I Spy computer games, sort of, where you have to find certain items in a room and it's just cluttered.
Yeah.
But it's colorful too. Like it's chaotic, but it's also uh gorgeous. Like there's so many details, like just even like what people's shoes are like. Like I think was it like Frisbee had like these sort of they looked like they were made out of like snakeskin or something. I was
Oh
like, wow, you didn't have to
yeah.
be that detailed about every single person's shoes, but you did, you know?
Yeah, the amount of detail in like the animation of this movie is honestly some of the most gorgeous animation that I think I've ever actually
Hmm.
seen. Like
Yeah.
it rivals some of my favorite anime series of all time. Like
Mm.
that's like the level of detail that we're dealing with here. And it's rendered in like the art style that this film is based on. It's heavily based on like the art style like of like anime and manga from like the 70s and the 80s, just overall in how the
Hmm.
characters are designed. And
Oh yeah, I was surprised that this movie was from 2009 because it had a really sort of retro feeling to it.
yeah, the animation in reminded me a lot of like the early films for Lupin the Third. Like
Okay. Haven't seen those, but I take your word for it.
one of the first films that Hayao Miyazaki of Studio Ghibli ever directed before doing Studio Ghibli
Oh,
was the Lupin the Third
nice.
film
Okay.
Count of Cagliostro.
Gotcha.
It's but yeah, Lupin the Third is big. It is another big franchise that is very old but also very
Mm.
beloved, and it has that older art style. And that's the kind of art style that we're dealing with here, but it's
Mm.
also it's also over stylized to the point where it's so flashy and just gorgeous. Like
Yeah.
my goodness, I'm
It's just, you know what it kind of reminds me of? I keep on saying that. You know what it kind of reminds me of is it was almost as if the entire movie was, well, especially when people had interviews and stuff, it was like it was a commercial where it was like, "Hey, check this out. Look at this thing. This hair cream will change your life," you know?
actually yeah. Yeah, that actually did feel like that, like when they were
Like
doing the
like a lot of the people when they would show up they're just like hello like hello, like it just sort of like that sort of glamour facade sort of thing,
yeah.
which is really interesting, I thought.
I think the best example of that was who was it?
Was it those two girls with the boobs?
I was gonna mention the two twin girls that were like the representative of like some kind of space kingdom that was like sponsoring the entire race, but
Yeah.
I was actually gonna mention the two criminal brothers or something like that, and the crooked cop.
Oh
It
yeah, okay.
just like the introduction of those two characters in particular kind of looked like it was like the way it was framed and shown showed that I thought for some reason, why is it that the introduction of these characters was framed like a commercial for either a run of the show Cops or America's Most Wanted
Right.
in space?
In a world where racing is deadly.
Wait, Redline is filmed on location with the men and women of crooked law enforcement. All subjects will or may not be proven guilty in a court of law.
Many racers were harmed in the making of this video.
I mean, the amount of explosions and things that happen. So,
Yep. People
so
are, I wouldn't watch it if no one got hurt anyway.
all right.
That's where the fun's at.
So behind the entire behind the entire race, there is like a bit of a subplot going on as the planet that they're hosting the Redline on is completely against it.
Yeah, like they don't have the planet's permission to be there racing, but that's where they decided to have it for some reason, just because of like I think it was for the thrill factor, kind of, where it's like, yeah, we're gonna be racing against each other, but then also this highly militarized robo planet is going to be trying to kill us while we're
Robo
while we're
World!
racing as well. Which is just ridiculous.
Which is
what was his name? What was that guy's name? Captain Volton or whatever.
I can actually bring up the.
He looked like a transformer.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Let's see.
Oh my gosh, that was ridiculous. And then
Colonel Volton. Yep.
Oh man, Colonel Volton. That's right. he's the one who was like, he had a line that just cracked me up.
Oh, was it the
like,
one?
I'm going to have your ass if you don't stop messing around with those cosplaying rejects from a porno.
Oh my!
What? What on earth? What is happening?
Oh yeah, when the red line race begins, and what was that? It was the name of that one overly emotional soldier that said, "I need to join this race in order to beat him."
Oh yeah, that's right. He was like, "You can kill me afterwards. I cannot lose." Like, what the heck is your problem?
Oh, it was just so great. But yeah, it's all these over the top like personalities and characters that just clash with one another and mix in this cocktail of just insanity.
Yeah.
Absolute insanity. And
you know what I enjoyed though was that like when he wasn't like behind the wheel of the Trans Am or that weird bike that was all handlebars, JP was actually pretty chill.
Yeah, JP was a pretty chill guy. I mean,
he was a pretty chill guy. He's just like sitting there. He's just like, yeah, as long as it's got an engine, as long as I get to race, cool, man, yeah. And then he gets behind the wheel, and suddenly something takes possession of him, and he's just like more power.
Well, I mean, part of that also kind of contributes to the fact that so for those that are just for you guys that are aware, we watched this movie in English. We watched the English dub of this film, and JP is voiced by one of my favorite English dub actors in Patrick Seitz, who has a very very deep kind of low tone bass voice like this, very reassuring, and just says it with a kind of like a coolness factor. Kind of, do you hear it?
We're literally just about to say Kool-Aid Man factor.
No, Kool-Aid Man factor is a little bit more down like this, like, oh yeah. But Patrick, but the way that Patrick Seitz does his characters is a little bit more kind of around the chest, just very low tone like this, very reassuring, almost kind of like it's like that older substitute teacher that you actually confide your a lot with and actually depend on, something like that, like a reassuring adult figure.
Right.
And which is kind of hilarious considering the fact that he also plays in which is hilarious because he also plays one of my most hated characters. He's Endeavor in My Hero Academia.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah,
that's where I've heard his voice before.
Patrick, I love you, but why did you have to be Endeavor? Why did you have to be Endeavor?
Oh my gosh. Shoto!
Yep. But
it's like, calm down, Dad. You're embarrassing me.
Oh yeah.
Literally.
But yeah, like the entire we were watching it in English, and I was having so much fun with the entire voice cast. I mean, like I said, Patrick Seitz as JP, Michelle Ruff, one of my favorite English voice actresses growing up, as Sonoshi. We had a couple of the crew from goodness. I keep forgetting the name of Matt Mercer's D&D group. I hate that.
Oh, Critical Role.
Yeah, we had some of the Critical Role guys and Sam Riegel and who else was in there? I had the full Liam O'Brien
Liam
and
O'Brien.
Liam O'Brien and Sam Riegel were in there. And we had so many just overall fun like voice acting talents like lending their voices to this, and nobody came to just phone it in. Like, everyone came in with such an energy that made this so much fun. And
Did we ever find out who the voice actor was for that gross old man who was constantly picking his teeth?
no,
Because I thought it sounded a little bit like old Leonard Nimoy, like in his ancient days.
I don't think we actually did, but I can actually I can actually look this up like right now. Let me see.
Awesome, because I don't know what that guy's name was either. I just know that he was disgusting.
Right.
Oh man, it's like you couldn't. It was disgusting, but you couldn't look away.
Well, apparently when I was reading the description of the movie, apparently he was flossing his gums in his teeth with cocaine. It actually says it on the Wikipedia page.
Oh well, you mean that makes sense now. Now that you say that.
You know, now that you say that, that makes a lot
Now that you say that,
sense.
now that you say that, it's pretty obvious. I don't know what it is about recording live, but it just makes me goofy.
Hey, it happens all
Because I'm not
the time.
goofy at any other time.
So it says, I believe his name, Gerald Michael Charlebois.
Never heard of him. Never heard of him.
We can look him up later. He does a lot of different voices for a lot of different shows. So we'll data mine through that later. So eventually our two main players in this are Sweet JP and Crab Sonoshi, aka what was the nickname that she went by? The Cherry Boy Picker?
Yeah. Well, that was the nickname she had been given.
And she's like, seriously, guys? Really?
Man.
Who we find out
What asshole came up with that?
I mean, underground males in space, I don't know. I mean, media, what can you say? But apparently they had encountered each other before, like, in the past, and it was a Sonoshi that actually inspired, like, JP to take up, like, racing. Essentially.
Yeah. I did not see that coming. And he's like, she probably doesn't even remember.
We never got the answer.
Where I was like, how can she not remember? You look exactly the same.
Did you miss that pompadour? which I gotta say, what is it about pompadour designs in anime that just make them so great? Like, I hate the way they look in real life, but pompadours in anime, why do they stand out so well? Like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, like Space Dandy, Redline, like, somebody explain this to me. I need an animation expert to explain this to me. Why do pompadours look so much better in animation than they do in real life? I need the Carfax.
Because you have a modicum of control over them in animation, maybe. I also enjoy that was the only reason that he made it over the finish line first, was because his hair stuck out so much.
One by a hair never had much more of a literal meaning than that.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect.
Oh man.
Excuse me. But
yeah, oh, go ahead.
No, you first.
Oh, I wasn't actually. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Okay.
My mind went immediately blank because I was like, time to listen.
So, as we're interviewed, as we learn the backstory of like all these different characters, both our main people and all the different side characters, and as we're shown like why Robo World doesn't want everything to take place there, because we figure out they have a bunch of illegal weaponry that has been outlawed in many forms of the galaxy, like biological nuclear experimentation of weapons of mass destruction that
Yep.
they don't want people to know because
Hmm.
apparently the Redline is being broadcast almost across the entire galaxy over.
Yep. And bioweapons of that magnitude are not in accord with the peace treaties made amongst the planets. Oh
Sir,
my gosh, dude.
Mr. President, as you
Wendy Lee
know,
did a voice in this.
who did Wendy Lee voice?
It says clerk.
Wait, was she the one that sold JP the cigarettes?
That's the only clerk I can think of.
That's the only one that I can think of too.
Oh my gosh.
Just,
Okay.
just this chain smoker alien looking female that stole JP an open carton of cigarettes and is like, just leave me alone. It just passes out right there. I'm like, excuse me. Like, you question a lot of things that take place in this world, in this universe, but at the same time, like, it doesn't, like, ruin your immersion and enjoyment of just, like, wow, how this is so far out of bounds than what I would expect a space adventure to be like. I just can't help but just laugh and smile. This is incredible. And then we get to like all these like our main character strikes. Like JP is unfortunately indebted to the mob through his friend Frisbee because what didn't he say he took the fall for Frisbee in terms of like fixing races and stuff like that, and now they're like indebted to the mob or something?
Yeah. It's like he went to. I forget. That was very complicated. I was kind of like, wait a minute, what? Okay, I get it. You did something for him, and now you feel like you owe him. Which, like, I don't know. That character was kind of a piece of shit, but I didn't mind him too much.
Frisbee or
Frisbee.
yeah, I mean, it showed in like certain flashbacks that he's still a decent guy like back in the past. It's just unfortunately who we got caught up with then, like. Basically influenced like how he now viewed like his life. So
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Hard times,
Hard times, I wish
Hard times.
I wish I could do Liam O'Brien's voice. I wish I could do that voice convincingly. He has such a unique voice among English voice acting. I just love it. Love it. So we finally get to the Redline race, and all like anything like plot or story related for the most part, except for like the Robo World stripes, basically just get thrown out the window, and it's like, okay, y'all want insane? Time to get insane. Racing for days, bioweapons of mass destruction, armies trying to kill racers, just trying to race for a giant trophy and recognition.
Yeah, it was like, it was a bunch of miners and like mine workers revolting and releasing this sentient bioweapon into the middle of this illegal, deadly, galactic Grand Prix race.
Literally, anarchy ensues.
Yeah, exactly, pretty much.
And like the second in command, Colonel Volton, basically fuses himself with a tentacle monster which turns into an animated kaiju fight, and I'm just like, what? And we never get it referenced again.
I did not see that coming. Although, then I was... When it happened, I wondered why I didn't see it coming, because it was the only thing that was missing was somebody just becoming a monster in like 2 seconds.
In the back of my mind,
that was some Akira shit there.
I think I actually said in the moment, I'm like, there had to be tentacles, didn't there? There just had to be tentacles in a dirty space area like this. There just had to. I'm
There's evil there that does not sleep.
and it's just like chaos ensues, and like eventually like Sonoshi and JP like team together because Sonoshi's hovercraft is wrecked, and JP's like, you said yourself you want to reach the end. Well, hop on in. We're gonna reach the end, and they both win the red line.
Mm-hmm.
And they did.
I love that. It was great that it was literally by a hair, and also they were going so fast that the basically just everything except the engine got just like ripped off by the velocity. And so they're just like in this little cockpit with this big engine attached, and then even that falls apart. And so it's literally just their human bodies humbling across the line.
Which is just an escalation upon an escalation of everything that just happens. And you're just sitting there in the moment going, oh, this is amazing! You're just, you just get hyped up on just hype and adrenaline and excitement in the moment. And, oh!
Yeah. I feel like the ending was rather abrupt.
I think it was rather abrupt, but
just like floating, and it's like, I love you, the end,
and then credits, and it's just
so off-brand. What's happening?
I think we both said like, "Is that what?" It ends there.
We're like, what? No. Oh man,
it was so far out of left field when it ended. We're like, wait, what? That's it? That's it? No. We more. But I think at the same time, like, if you're gonna end the movie at like the peak like high note that you can hit in a film, I think that was probably like the right way to end it. It just like you escalated it as high as it went, and then it's like there's really like no loose ends that you need to tie, except there's two bioweapon kaijus of mass destruction, possibly destroying Robo World as we speak. We never got cut back to that. We never really got.
We didn't. They just collided, and then that was it.
We never got a definitive conclusion between the blood feud between those two guys. Hold on, I have the.
You mean the overly emotional one and the other one?
Yeah.
The one with the ears.
Yep. And it's just, but at the same time, while the credits are going and like the music's playing, you just have to sit back in your seat and you're just like, wow, what an experience.
That was a psychedelic credit sequence as well, because each name or each line was like backlit with a different colored stripe of neon.
Yeah. Which was
like, yes, the credits. Totally normal. Wait, no.
Wait, hold on.
These credits are unusual.
Indeed. Like
everything else that I've seen the past hour and a half.
It truly is like it's one of those films that you have to experience. You just have to watch it to like experience it. Mm-hmm. Because before going into it, I told you.
I mean, that is how you experience it, by watching. But
now, I had heard a lot about this movie, like, throughout the different circles that I have been in terms of groups of friends and everything. One of my good friends, Chandler, aka, he actually goes by tags such as Redline and Sonoshi because he loves this movie so much. Who did some of my emotes for my Twitch. He talked about Redline, this movie, constantly, and I told him that I did not see it. I remember the night after we watched the movie, and like we were just sitting back, and like I was just basking in like the aftermath of like everything, and I had a message my friend, and I'm like, so I finally watched Redline, and he's like, dude, wait, whoa, hold on, you didn't tell me that you were watching. I'm like, I did watch it, and he's like, and I said,
the answer's even before you've hit send on the message.
Yeah.
Like, I sensed something glorious has happened.
But
Oh
yeah,
man.
me and him were just texting each other back and forth and just gushing about it for like, I don't know, like 15, 20 minutes, because he also goes to school for animation. And like whenever he finds like an animated show or movie that he gets really into, then he just gushes about all the fine details, from like color scheme, the line work, and it was so nice to just have that soundboard to like talk to, like in terms of like this movie, because
Mm-hmm.
I think that conversation between me and him kind of shows like why this film is such a cult favorite.
Yeah.
It's a cult classic.
It didn't do well in the box office at all, but it's stood the test of time.
Uh,
Yeah, I
I think
knew nothing about this movie when we started watching it. Like I sat down to watch it and I was like, I know that it's called Redline. That's it.
like I had heard of like the reputation that it had as a cult classic, and a lot of people really liked it, and I didn't know anything beyond that. I did not look up any like spoilers, any reviews or anything like that. All I remembered was like what my friend gushed about, and so I'm like, okay, let's just see what happens. And for a first viewing for both of us, it was pretty fantastic, I must say.
Yep.
Holy shnikes.
It was a trip.
Absolutely a trip. Like I honestly want to get I want to get a physical copy. I want to get this on like DVD and Blu-ray. Like the film is so good.
When's your birthday? April 4th? No, August 4th.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
August 4th.
I mean we'll figure it out, but
Yeah.
this this was one of like my favorite things that we've ever watched to talk about on this show. I mean, going through the James Bond films were one thing when we did Bond month back in February. This was so chaotic and so over the top that I had a smile on my face like the entire way through when we were watching this movie. It was so fantastic.
I mean, we do theme months every once in a while, but Anime April is always really special.
I don't know what it is about the magic of Anime April that like brings out some of the giddiness in 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 us. I know it's me especially.
Mm-hmm.
It's so oh, sorry, I'm tripping over my words because I don't know how to find the words. I actually
I
don't know how to
really
find the
enjoy the
words.
fact that the first Anime April, basically what I did was the two shows that I picked were like two of the like three that I'd seen, three animes total. I was like, well, I'm picking these because I know about them, you know. And now 3 years later, I picked something that you had never seen. So,
Yep, it was pretty
how the
fantastic.
turntables.
I also love like how the progression of like how we've done this month like for the past like
Mm-hmm.
number of years has
Definitely
kind
become
of
more of an event.
this is really the month of like the year that of the year for this podcast that we really just let loose and just go over the top, especially with when we choose shows that we're truly passionate about. I remember when we did the first
Mm-hmm.
Full Metal Alchemist episode for the first Anime April. That one was
Mm-hmm.
like absolutely insane. I know a lot of people loved when we did Fate Zero for our first live podcast last year.
Yep.
And just gushing about something that you're passionate about is always something that I personally enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to do this with an audience that appreciates listening to us, like sometimes just like in talk in in unintelligible tongues at times, just gushing about an art form that I appreciate so much is kind of is it's a kind of feeling like, you know, when some people say that you get a high from doing like an event or something like that that puts you in a state of mind that you just feel euphoric. That,
Um, yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I'm not as easily excited as some people I know, but yeah.
that's the kind of thing that I feel like sometimes, like when I go into these tangents in Anime April, when I just get so excited and I just go like I have so much to talk about that my brain just like short circuits.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm trying to. Where is it?
What you
Where
trying to?
was that year?
What
I'm
you,
trying to find when we talked about Fate Zero because I
that was last year's
I wrote
episode.
down. Yeah, I know. I wrote down who that YouTuber was that I got some of my information from. Um, maybe it was the next. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh man. Okay.
Hannah's multiple notebooks, ladies and
Yeah,
gents.
this is the first. This is the original notebook, the one that says "Keep it real." Um. Okay.
So while Hannah is looking that up, for um in terms of like the animation of like Redline, I had I actually showed Hannah this short after we got done watching the movie, but this film was not my first time being exposed to like how director Takeshi Koike does animation, because the first time I was introduced to him was actually through the uh, animated anthology series The Animatrix, which was a series of like short animated films from different animators and art houses that was tied into the Matrix film series. And Takeshi Koike actually did one of those. He did one of those specific uh, shorts titled World Record.
Oh
Not,
yeah, that was really cool.
I actually found some of the images from that specific short. I actually have them
Mm.
up on stream right now. Just
Oh yeah.
you actually compare the overall art style to like how some of the characters are drawn from Redline to like how some of the characters and just imagery in this short
Mm.
compare, and you can just see just like how it's a mixture of like old school 80s and 70s style animation with all of these over the top like facial expressions and just facial structure and character design that is so dominant in like the Redline movie. And I found that like so cool that and I felt so I still feel a little overwhelmed like with all this information that when because Hannah can attest to this. When we were reading like the description of Redline, we were watching it on Amazon Prime, and it says on there that Takeshi Koike from the Animatrix, and the light bulb popped on in my brain. Didn't I just say shout out loud? Oh wait, now I know who that person is.
Yeah, I think you did.
I remember pulling out the short from Animatrix in order to like show Hannah right then and there.
Yeah, we watched
Yeah,
it.
it was it was a lot of fun.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, did you find the YouTuber?
No.
Gosh
I couldn't
darn.
even find the video. I don't know.
Oh,
Weird. It was a good video.
it was done by someone from Ireland.
He was Irish.
It might have been totally not Mark.
Um,
Hold on.
Super Eye Patch Wolf was the one that I was talking about. Thrilling podcasting here, just
No, it's
two
okay.
people researching stuff on the internet.
Hey, it happens sometimes. What can you say? But I mean, like I said, Redline is an absolute thrill ride of a movie. Like, if you want a film that is like deep in meaning with like subtexts and things like that, this is not. I wouldn't say this is the kind of movie for that kind of experience. I mean, that's what we had Grave of the Fireflies for this month. But if you want like a movie for you to just turn off your brain and just enjoy the grandeur of what's being showcased like on your screen, this is like one of the coolest experiences that I can think of in terms of watching an animated film.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want
to. Oh, I found it. It was a different person.
It was a different person?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Kevin Nya.
Interesting.
Okay. I'll put it in the Discord.
Gotcha.
Because it was a pretty cool sort of analysis, and it made me think of some things that I literally had not occurred to. Made me appreciate it a lot more.
Gotcha. And I hope that like you guys that are listening to this episode, like if you haven't checked this movie out, definitely go check it out. Like anime in general offers such a wide different variety of like different stories and different subject matter that there's something for everybody. And if you just want to watch something that's just so striking and beautiful and different from so many different artistic mediums that are out there right now, I can't think of a better example of something being so different and grandiosely beautiful as Redline.
Yeah.
This movie has like one of my highest of recommendations. So definitely go check it out.
Good.
Please check it out. Please, I beg you. I beg you, please check this out. Anything else to add to that, Hannah?
No, nothing really. Just I'll share the videos that I watched for research for this for the actual episode we're doing right now. That.
Gotcha. That sounds.
I realized
good.
that was kind of weird. I was like, it's from years ago. Here's the thing I referenced here, and it wasn't even the same guy.
I mean, it happens. I mean, it does. Mm-hmm. It happens. Yeah. No worries.
I don't regret it.
All right. Well, I think we can end it off at that for tonight. Then, don't you think? All right, guys. For those of you watching us live, I appreciate you guys stopping on by and just watching us ramble about this show. Like I said, I definitely recommend this. And for those listening or watching later on, thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening / watching this episode of General Geekery. Wrapping up Anime April 2022. I can't believe it's over already. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. Okay.
It'll be back soon.
Okay.
There.
Just another 11 months until it comes back.
There.
Okay, I've regained my composure.
All right, hurry up. I really have to pee.
Okay, it's all right. I'm a professional. All right. Okay, so for those of you for those of you guys that enjoy the podcast and enjoy everything that we do, If you guys want to listen to more episodes, we are on multiple streaming platforms. We're on Spreaker, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if you guys want the full playlist of every single episode from the very beginning when we began, we have the full playlist available on my personal YouTube channel at Anime Rev Productions. That is youtube.com/Anime Rev Productions. Also, if you guys want to support the show in any way, shape, or form, we have a Patreon and a Coffee page that you guys can pledge to. Patreon especially if you want to get early access to some of our episodes and exclusive content. I actually, for Anime April, just recently put up 10 anime recommendations for you guys to check out from multiple different genres and different subject matter. Definitely go check that out if you are interested. You can check Hannah out on her social media at Instagram at Pythian Legume, and on her DeviantArt page at where at DeviantArt again?
Almond Bright.
Almond Bright on DeviantArt.
Dolman Bright, not
Dolman
Almond.
Bright. Ow. Way to go, Don. Check her out on there, the links of which will be in the description of the audio version of this episode. You can check me out on social media at RyuzakiMK7 on Twitter and Instagram. You can also check me out on twitch.tv at RyuzakiMK7 as well, where we are broadcasting this episode live to the lovely people watching live. Otherwise, you also can check me and Hannah out on Wednesdays at Loaded Dice Adventures on Twitch as a part of Avenaria Corsairs. Hannah is also part of the main campaign for Loaded Dice, Avenaria Awakenings on Mondays. Go check them out and enjoy the shenanigans that follow. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. This has been episode 115 of General Geekery, all about Redline. For Hannah Kubiak, I'm Donald Kaczynski, and until next time, guys, keep your Nitro Boost handy. Pompadours still rocking animation, still can't figure it out, and always remember to keep your geek on.
Always.
Clink clink.
Clink clink.
And
Whoa.
and for you listeners, I just used 2 giant bottles of alcohol to do the clink clink. Why?
I used random crap from my desk.
Why not? All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.
Bye.